Welcome, fellow Jedi. I'm Mike, and you're watching Force Within TV. And today we're going to be talking about the biggest mistakes in Star Wars Rebels Season 3. And the first big mistake I want to talk about, and I've actually mentioned this in a few episode reviews, and that is Kallus and Zeb have not reunited after the awesome episode that they were in season 2 called Honorable Ones, where they really get to know each other and realize that they aren't that unlike each other. They're actually both honorable warriors. They just find each other on opposite sides of a conflict, right? So I thought in the end 0 hour, it would have made more sense that Zeb and Kallus had a discussion instead of Kallus and Kanan at the very end there. I thought it would have made more sense if Zeb was included in Through Imperial Eyes instead of Kanan and Rex taking the shuttle to rescue. They remember Through Imperial Eyes they were trying to extract Kallus, and it would have made sense if Zeb was there to reconnect with him there. So that's number one. Let's move on to number 2 now. Number 2 is pretty simple. It's the droid-centric episodes. Double Agent Droid was a good example of this. These aren't the strongest episodes that we have. I have a very strong opinion that these droids are meant to be comic relief. As they're seen in the movies, they're supposed to be sidekicks. They're not supposed to be front and center. There were they were able to at least tie Double Agent Droid into the bigger picture, Chopper and AP5, and it was cool to see Wedge again. But overall, those episodes really feel like filler episodes. We're not seeing Ezra and Kanan, Sabine. We're not growing those characters, and that's really what I would like to see. Comment down below if you really love those droid episodes. Number 3 is Ezra's trip to the dark side. And, I felt that trip was way too short. Really, we see him in the season premiere of Season 3. He's doing some, manipulating people, the driver of the ATST, for example. He's really tapped into some serious power. And then after that, it just seemed like he was okay, I'm not going to the dark side anymore. It was just too quick and abrupt of a transition for that character. And I really wish they would have spent some more time with that struggle and had Kanan training him and addressing that dark side a little more so that we could see more of Ezra's character growth. Unfortunately, some of the later episodes that came after that, Ezra wasn't even using his force powers. He didn't seem that powerful at all. He was just sort of back being that kid on Lothal. So I would have liked to see that progress a little more, or be addressed a little more, I think. Number 4 is Bendu. Now, I talked about this in my review of 0 Hour, but I thought it would have been, a huge surprise if Kanan hadn't gone to talk to Bendu, but Bendu actually just reacts to Thrawn's invasion. So the rebels, are at the base. They're like, "Oh crap, we're totally trapped here. Thrawn is definitely going to get us. There's nowhere to go." And then out of nowhere, Bendu starts showing up. He shows up and he just starts frying things, right? Imperial and rebels. And I thought that would have been a really nice twist for 0 Hour, and we wouldn't have seen it coming like we did. I understand that maybe Kanan really did need to wake up Bendu, but I think it could have been a really interesting twist. So I think that's one of the other big mistakes. Number 5, and this was mentioned by Dave Filoni in Rebels Recon, the YouTube show, and it goes back to the episode Warhead, which came out right after Rogue One. I believe it was early January, and it was about this enforcer droid coming to Adelon base, or sorry, Chopper base on Adelon, and it just would have made sense if that droid looked like K2SO, right? That would have been such a great tie-in to Rogue One. And like I said, Dave Filoni admits just as much. He said, this droid really should have looked like K2SO. That was they understand, or he understands, that they dropped the ball on that. And that sort of brings us back to number 2, which was the droid-centric episodes, because the droids AP5 and Chopper were featured pretty heavily in that episode. It would have been really interesting if they had come up against a K2SO droid, though. I think that probably would have made it a little more interesting. So what do you think are the biggest mistakes in season 3 of Star Wars Rebels? And what do you think is coming up in season 4? Comment below, let me know, and please check out my Monday motivational videos where I take Star Wars and help motivate you. So check that out every Monday. I have one up now. Head on over to my channel, Force Within TV, and check that out. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Please consider subscribing, checking out my Jedi Train Like a Jedi series. Maybe check out a recent video, or down in the video description you will find several links to my website, including a table of contents of all the Train Like a Jedi series.